memory, and it starts with 0, index starts with 0. But then how do you create array in Java? Basic concept of array, even though you know int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, and c is equal to 30. Suppose if I create 3 variables, what happens? Very basic concept. Huh? ABC variables you have created. Now what happens here is
A memory block is created.
A, B, C, 1000, 2000, 3000. Okay. Huh? So when you create variables, individual variables, they are stored at different memory locations. So what's the drawback? Accessing becomes slow. You access A, then B is at 2000, C is at 3000, like that. Accessing becomes slow. As compared to that, if you create array to store array of 3 elements. I'm just writing like that because syntax I will show you afterwards. Array of 3 elements to store 10, 20, and 30. If you create array, then what is the difference? Array of 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. This is array. This is array. This is 0th element. This is first element. This is second element. Always it starts with 0. And the point here is 10, 20, 30. No doubt about that. Values are there. These variables, they also have values 10, 20, 30, but accessing becomes slow. Here what happens, array we have created of 3 elements, and in that array we have stored 10, 20, 30. So 10 will be stored at 0th element, 20 first, 30 second. But then what is the difference is, if 0th element is at address 100, first element will be at address 104. Next to that, second element next to that. So what advantage we get is accessing becomes faster. Accessing becomes faster. With different variables, accessing becomes slow. With array, accessing becomes faster. That is the advantage of array. Okay. Now how to create array in Java? It's not required, but still for your information. The languages like C, C++, what is the syntax we have? Data type, array name, and size. That means when you say int ARR 3. So ARR is an array of type int, and how many elements? 3, 0, 1, 2. That is the syntax of C, C++. And if you say something like this, int ARR1 without size, so that will be an error. Size must be mentioned. Size must be mentioned. If you don't mention size, that will be compilation error in C and C++. But in Java, if you write int arr, no error. Now, if you write int arr without size in C++, error. And if you write int arr without size in Java, no error. Why? No error.
There is no size of operator.
Because no. Because it's not an array. It's a
Reference.
Only reference on the stack, which will refer to the array. So how do you create array? An array. Question. Answer. ARR is equal to new int. Now this is an array. Okay. So when you just say int ARR, if you are coming from C++ background, you will say, "Arey, kya likh rahe ho?" That will give error. No, it won't give you error because it's not array creation; it's a reference creation. And what is the array creation then? ARR is equal to new int. New, again new. That means arrays are also created on the heap in Java. ARR is equal to new int 3. Now I will show you in the diagrams, separate diagram, what happens.
So it is necessary to create reference creation.
Otherwise, how will you access that array? Whatever is created in the heap, always remember one thing. Let it be any programming language, C, C++, C#, Java, any. Whenever you create something in the heap, how will you access to that? In order to access that, you need a reference or pointer in the stack so that you can access. Because the things inside heap cannot be accessed directly. They can be always accessed indirectly. So reference to chahiye. So here, int ARR, step by step. Now here, for the first diagram, I will mention stack and heap. For remaining diagrams, you understand that left-hand side stack, right-hand side heap. Okay, so we have int ARR. So ARR क्या हुआ? Reference. ARR is a reference. How do you create array? ARR is equal to new int 3. New int 3. 3 is the size. So when you say new int 3, what happens is array gets created. Suppose base address is 100. So next element 104, 108. Then ARR will refer to that. So now you can access this array by using ARR. ARR 0. ARR 0 to this location, ARR 1 to this location. Now one more thing happens. When you say new, when you create array, where do you create array? When you say new int 3, when you create array, you get one variable called as ARR dot length. Why? Because ARR is the name of reference. So reference name dot length, you get that variable. And that variable holds what? Size of the array. What is size of the array? 3. Size of the array 3. So in Java, when you create array, array gets created on heap and you get dot length variable, reference dot length, and that dot length variable contains size of the array. And how will you assign the numbers? Suppose you want to assign numbers here. So ARR 0 is equal to 10. ARR 1 is equal to 20. And ARR 2 is equal to 30. So here 10. Here 20. And here 30. This is the code. Go through this. Just for your information, the other way of creating array is OR. Now this is the way you create array when you don't know numbers. Suppose you accept from user and then assign the numbers like that. But suppose you know what numbers you want to store in the array from the very beginning. So in that case, you can create array like this. Int ARR is equal to 10, 20, 30. This is called as array initialization. This is called as initializing an array. But remember, now you will say there is no new operator here. So that means this array is not created on heap. Wrong. Even though there is no new operator here, even though this is just initialization of array, but diagram remains same, concept remains same. Diagram remains same, concept remains same. Check that.
Hello, sir.
Huh.
So, as the ARR is the reference to array, do we use any dereferencing operator here like C or C++?
Dereference? No. Because there is no pointer. No?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Sir,
Huh.
and what if I want to add string into that array? So how to do that?
What if I want to add
String inside that array.
Array of string.
Okay. How can you add string here? Int के array में string कैसे आएगा?
You have to take array of string.
If you want to create that type of array where one integer, one string, one float double, then create array of object class, which we will see afterwards.
And okay, got it.
Sir, it is must to declare the size of object, means we create new int and in a bracket we have declared 3. So
when you say new, you must give size, and that size is fixed.
okay, so it is must that we should give the size of that.
Yeah. There you must give. You can't give here. Huh? Understand one point. You can't give here because this is the reference. This is always some name and that subscript operator. Size you have to give here.
Sir, first
Here you don't have to.
Yeah. Sir, first we have to declare the reference. Means first we have to create a reference and then we have to declare. Means we have to create an object.
Not like that. ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. Suppose ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. Int ARR equal to ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. In one line. This is same as my class m and m is equal to new my class, or my class m is equal to new my class. Yes or no?
Okay.
हाँ चिन्ह.
सर
बोलो बोलो.
so बेसिक लॉजिक तो सेम ही हुआ ना दोनों जगह सर सी में.
Same. Array का concept same है. Once you create array, that size cannot be changed.
Sir,
Similar
dynamic size is possible.
ये डायनामिक ही है ना. ये डायनामिक ही है. Suppose you write here int. हाँ अभी समझ लो इसको. Int ARR. Then you accept user input. User input. How? What is the size of array you want to create? Something like that. Inside, say size variable. Size एक variable है आपका. Yeah. Now you say ARR is equal to size.
Sir, this thing was not possible in C, right?
Possible. It was possible, but it was possible when you create with the pointer new, using new or malloc.
Their
Using new or
dynamic
malloc.
size was possible.
C++
Okay, sir.
में new and C में malloc.
Malloc.
Yeah.
That's not dynamic memory.
तो नहीं एक बात समझ लो. In C and C++, array can be created on stack and array can be created on heap. When you create array on stack in C++, the size has to be some constant, cannot be variable. But when array can be when you want to create array on heap in C and C++, that size can be any variable also. In Java में arrays are always on heap, so variable can be used. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So in above example, sir, we have created array of 3 variable, that is integer.
यहाँ पे ना?
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And we save it the value like 10, 20, and 30. Suppose after the second last of array, we mention ARR of 3 is equals to 40. So it will work.
एक मिनट. ARR 3.
Yes.
We do not have ARR 3, so that will give you array index out of bound exception.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Exception. So that's why we have ARR.length. So inside for loop or inside any loop, you should not take risk. I is 0, I less than 3, or I less than is equal to 3. You don't have to take that risk. You can say I is equal to 0, I less than ARR.length, I plus plus, and then keep on assigning the values or keep on printing the values. So ARR.length saves you from that.
So, sir, there is nothing any way to create a dynamic array.
This is dynamic. When you say new, it's a dynamic.
But sir, for that we know the size that array.
Yeah. See, understand one thing. For that we have to know size. And once array gets created, you cannot change its size. You cannot increase the size. That is possible in collection API. Containers. Those are dynamic containers. Here, once you create array the size, that size remains fixed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
you cannot change that size after that. But collection API topic may we will see that when we create any container with a particular capacity, that capacity can be increased.
Sir, we yet to learn how to take input from user.
Sorry?
We yet to learn how to take input from user, like scanf.
Yeah, user input, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we have here array demos.